The next application that I would like to bring to you, this is one of my favorites. It's Sharepoint, and it's part of the Microsoft suite, Microsoft Office 365 suite. It is an amazing application. Firstly, Sharepoint. To get to it, you log in to Microsoft 365. You go to the dots on the top left, the square dots, click on them, and then you'll see Sharepoint as one of the options. Click on Sharepoint. When Sharepoint opens up, I'll use two analogies. The first is a house. When you are building a house, there's several rooms in the house that have functions for them. So when you first build a blueprint, it's just the shell of the house. So that's Sharepoint. Now you have to build the rooms. So you create sites. So also, if I want to take Facebook as an example, since everyone's familiar with Facebook, when Facebook first started, it was just Facebook. There was nothing there. There were no profiles. No one did a profile because they hadn't launched it yet. They hadn't let the public know that we're going to launch this and everyone can create profiles. So when you first get to Sharepoint, you'll see it as that first open Facebook, that house with no shell. So now you have to start building the rooms and you have to start building the profiles using the Facebook analogy and using the house analogy. So using the house analogy, to create a site, it's basically a place, a room where you want to do things, a specific room. So let's say you click plus, after you've entered Sharepoint, you've clicked on the dot and you've entered Sharepoint. You click plus and then it'll say new site. When you click that new site, you type in the type of site you want. So for example, I will put in kitchen. And it'll say, in that kitchen, do you want everyone to have access to the kitchen or only certain people in the house to have access to the kitchen? Let's say for this specific example, you say you want everyone to have access to the kitchen. So you've created that room. After that, you'll see that when you've created that room, there are things in that room, just like how a room will have a light switch, it'll have floor, it'll have a sink and all that in the kitchen. It has documents, it has other things on the left-hand side. If you go and you click on documents, you'll see that for that room, for that site, you'll have a place where you can store things. Same way as you do on your computer. So the same way how you would open a folder, create a folder, open it, save things in it, create subfolders. You can do the same on that documents link on the left-hand side. Using the analogy of Facebook, when you open up Sharepoint, Sharepoint opens up and there's nothing there. Facebook, there's nothing there. Mark Zuckerberg said that I'm giving you guys Facebook, do something with it. So everyone starts creating a profile. So one person creates a profile and that profile is their site. They upload pictures there. They upload PDFs there. They can communicate with people from there. And then the next person opens up another site. So one will be Mohamed Sisse. The next one will be Taras Vani. The next one will be Siafaya. So now you've created all these sites, and in these sites, you have places where you can deposit pictures, where you can deposit videos, you can deposit reports, you can do PDF reports and all that. So in summary, Sharepoint is a place where you can create specific sites. And what I mean by sites is places, rooms, where you can store things and you can have team members there as public where anyone can access it, or you can have it private where only specific people can access it. So an example that I'll give, a practical example is, I am the finance manager. So the first thing I'll do is I'll open up a Sharepoint site for finance. So I'll go ahead onto Sharepoint, I will click on add site. After I add the site, I will ensure that I name it finance. I will leave it closed to only a certain amount of people. For the first one, only a certain amount of people, maybe the executive director, the head of HR, management team. And I'll create the site. Then I'll go to the documents. When I get to the documents, I'll open up a folder, create a folder first, plus create folder. When you create the folder, you can say taxes. That's the first folder. You go again, you create another folder. That folder will be for, let's say, financial reports. The next folder will be for maybe a specific project, USAID project. The next one will be for a specific project, World Bank project. These examples that I'm giving. But it's just to let you know that you can create as many folders as you want inside that SharePoint folder, that SharePoint site, or within the folder within the site. You can create subfolders. And when you're done doing that, you can now share these folders with other people. You can either make it private or you can make it open. So that's a practical example of how SharePoint can be used by a finance manager.